Hello, everyone. Recently, I have been co-facilitating a 6-week process called Carrying Your Momentum Forward. And each time we identify a theme that has really helped us expand, whether it's in our life or our business or wherever. And this week's theme was energy and enthusiasm and the power of energy and enthusiasm to really propel our life's desires forward. And sometimes when I look at these themes, I look at the etymology of the word itself. And I was really delightfully surprised to learn that the etymology of the word enthusiasm, it comes from the Greek word enthos, enthous, meaning having a God within. And I absolutely loved that because isn't it true that we are an extension, an emanation of divine source energy, which is love and joy? And perhaps our only purpose here on earth is to master what it means to co-create our desires by fueling their creation with love and joy. That is the essence of enthusiasm. And often what we do is we fuel our desires, our dreams with, oh, we got to work harder, we got to try harder. Only if we, do, right? That's often how we can fuel our desires. But really, as Abraham Hicks says, he says the only true measure of success is the amount of joy we're having. What a different way to measure success, a different value that instead of like how much we produced or how productive we are, that it's really how much joy that what it is we're doing actually creates that joy in our life. And that's a very different measure of value that we're beginning to integrate into our lives. But historically, right, I know this myself, we analyze so much, we take ourselves so seriously. And yes, we are living, I believe, in the greatest shift of the ages for humanity. And there's a lot to process right now. There's a lot to let go of and a lot to integrate as we move into our ascension process. But what if joy is our most radical act during these times? What if the more joy and enthusiasm we give ourselves permission at this time actually speeds up the transformation we are experiencing and desire as a species? There's a lot of emotional frequency scales out there, and such as Abraham Hicks. And joy is always up there right at the top. So if we can fuel our dreams and desires with the joy and enthusiasm that they were the initial creative thought came to us with, what a difference. I mean, that's how we can actually collapse timelines. So I think the question is, how much joy does our life bring us at the moment? How much joy and enthusiasm are we infusing our life with? If you are a spiritual entrepreneur, how much do your creative ideas, your offerings fill you with joy? Because our offerings, first and foremost, are meant to bring us joy. They're meant to fill us up with so much joy and enthusiasm that we're no longer even attached to the outcome of them. So, yeah. So yeah. And so whether you're in the healing arts or you own a business or you're raising a child, your frequency is your calling card. It's what transmits the most amount of information that is uniquely about us. So whatever we fuse our frequency with, whether joy and love or fear or worry, that is what we are emanating. And it's all a choice. And I think that our hearts have a lot to do with how much energy and enthusiasm we infuse our life with. So we have a choice here, right? We can move through life wholeheartedly, where we can jump in with faith and courage, trusting in our ability and the ability of the universe to provide us whatever it is that we need or desires, or we can go about it half-heartedly. And half-heartedly is when the doubt and the uncertainty really fuel instead of the joy and the enthusiasm. And I want to read to you this excerpt from an amazing author and healer. He's an Andean ceremonial healer from Peru, and he wrote an amazing book called The Time of the Black Jaguar. And he talks about the difference between moving through life half-heartedly or wholeheartedly. And this is what he says. We can see how living with half a heart affects the capacity for individuals to create a fulfilling life for themselves. One of the reasons it is difficult in these times for most human beings to liberate themselves from the conditions in which they feel trapped is because when they try to do so, they do it half-heartedly. Grandfather Eagle said that today there are only a few spiritual warriors like those of the ancient times. These are the ones who put all their heart into what they do. Without doubting and without conditions, they jump into the abyss for what they love, and in the middle of the abyss, they discover that they can fly. So the question for all of us in these wild, transformational, and sometimes heartbreaking times is, are we choosing to engage wholeheartedly? Whatever we do, first and foremost, brings you joy in the most delightful way to the point where you are overflowing. So the question is, what if we gave ourselves permission to wholeheartedly fall madly in love with who we are and what it is that we're offering? And that can be anything from a spiritual offering in your business to walking into your local grocery store with your heart open and emanating the joy and love and enthusiasm that you feel just for being alive during these amazing times that we live in. So, as Mary Oliver says, tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? The choice is ours. So yes, my name is Joan Diargo, and I'm the creator of The Way of the Wise Woman. And this is part one of part three of fueling your life with joy and enthusiasm and energy for who you are and for what you have to offer. So stay tuned for part three. Thank you so much for being a part of my community.